Welcome to the objective review of the new Disney Pixar movie, Coco. With an objective review, I like to break a movie down into 6 categories and assign weights to them depending on the genre. With animated movies, comedy, I assign 10%, action, assign 5%, emotion, 30%, plot, 20%, acting, 10%, and directing, 25%. So let's get started with the plot of the movie. The plot of Coco is great. It involves a kid named Miguel who's stuck in the land of the dead. He's trying to find his way back, and he needs help from his grandpa to do it. His great-great-grandpa to do it. And then the story also has lots of twists and turns, and also with it, you get to learn a lot about a new culture. So with this, I assign the movie a 10 out of 10 rating. Just the fact that they hit you with so many blind sides and you get so involved with these characters. The writing is great, so couldn't help but give it 10 out of 10. The other category when it comes to reviewing movies for me is emotion. For animated movies, I assign it 30%. Coco is full of emotion from start to finish. What I love about this movie is that it doesn't hit you emotionally like the way that other Disney movies typically would do to you, or the animated movies. In other movies, they usually just kill off a parent so you can quickly try and connect with this character. But what Coco does so brilliantly is that it makes you emotional not because someone has been lost, but because you remember those ones who you've lost. You celebrate their lives. And for Coco to pull that off, I've never had that feeling in any movie before. Without a doubt, it gets a 10 out of 10 on there. And to go along with that emotion, I mean, that's the whole point of the Day of the Dead, is to not mourn those who you lost, but to celebrate their lives. And so that integrated with the story, it just raises up a whole nother level. And so the fact that it gave you emotion on every single level possible, that it really fit what the story was trying to tell you, that, you know, don't feel sad for the ones you lost, celebrate their lives. I have to give that also a 10 out of 10. All right, moving on to comedy. Comedy in Coco, it's pretty good. It's your typical Disney comedy. I laughed out loud in a lot of moments, but it knew exactly when to hold back on those laughing moments, on those comedy moments, and really let the story sink in. So for that, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It wasn't crazy funny, but it's a very good time. It's very fun. The comedy was great where it needed to come into. Coco was pretty funny. I think just as a little boy, I related to him. For some reason, I laughed out loud when we talked about how he changed up how he ran and how that made him run faster. Making something similar happen to me. The grandma was funny. If you name a street dog, don't ever name a street dog because it will follow you. So Coco gets a 7.5 out of 10 on comedy. Next, we have action. I don't need that much action in my animated movies, so it's only a 5% weight there. Coco has a little bit of action in there. It's funny how they kind of intertwine the action with dancing and music, so that should really give it a little bump. So it should get a 7 out of 10. It's not action-packed, but there was some epicness to it. It kind of gave it a very even grade. All right, now we're on to acting. For acting, I assign a 10% weight. And with animated movies, what I'm looking for in acting is just how well the voice actor did, how well the acting looks along with the animation. If they're singing, how well does the actor sing? And this, no doubt, is great. The singing in Coco is not memorable because it's not like a Disney song where they're trying to get you a catchy tune to remember playing the car. But you feel that passion, that emotion in all the characters when they sing. You feel why they're singing. And for that, I have to give it a 8.5 out of 10. There's no Oscar worthiness here. No characters are having to stretch that much. You know what? I gotta give it a 9 out of 10 because the acting did so well and the characters emoted so much through so many different means that I have to increase that to 9 out of 10. So going back on my and directing. When it comes to animated movies, directing, what I'm looking for is good animation. How did the director mix in the music with the pacing and the cinematography? And Coco does not disappoint when it comes to this factor at all. Coco's animated very beautifully. I feel like you see every single hair sort of unnaturally on every single person. The visuals, a lot of times, there's this character, this big, huge spirit animal that looks amazing. And then just seeing the whole Land of the Dead, the bridge with the flowers and the petals, it's very beautiful to look at. So for directing, and the way he integrated music is such a part of this movie. And really just to go along with that, it's such a part of this culture also that the directors know exactly what they want to do, know exactly what type of story they want to tell, how they want to tell it, and what tools they want to use, that they just knocked this out apart. So I have to give that a 10 out of 10 also. So, whoa, dang. Man, all right. So looking at the weighted averages, going back over again, comedy gets a 7.5 out of 10, and that was a 10% weight. The action gets a 7 out of 10. That's a 5% weight. Emotion, a 10 out of 10. It gets a 30% rate. The plot, like I said, the plot was great. It's a 10 out of 10. The acting was also awesome, a 9 out of 10, and directing a 10 out of 10. This is hard ground to make. So a weighted average here is 9.5 out of 10. It's one of the greatest animated movies of all time. Not looking at my ratings for every single genre, I came out the movie feeling that way. The movie took me on so many different pathways and so many different emotions, and the characters were so great that I couldn't help but think this is one of the greatest animated movies of all time, without a doubt. Coco, a 9.5 out of 10. You should go see this movie. It's great. I'm out.